Alright, people, this is not a liver box recording. This is real life. And we're going to go over the word. We're going to go over some words today, but one of the words we're going to go over is the word practical. So you might hear some typing in this, that, and the third, but it'll be alright. Alright. And I'm going to express some of my concerns and my thoughts. Authoritative. I think first we're going to go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Definition first. Alright, sorry about the extra sounds in there. It's going to be ran like a podcast, I guess. So, alright. Of relating to or manifested in practice or action, right? Not theoretical, just a thought or theory or theosophy or ideal, ideology, right? Idea. A practical question for all practical purposes, okay? Being such in practice or effect, a practical failure, like the system. Quasi-in-corpse orations. That's what happens when you have a lot of dead things trying to orate things, you know what I'm saying? And they're like not a living, you know? Actively engaging in some way of action or occupation, like a practical farmer, capable of being put to use or account, useful, right? He had a practical knowledge of French, disposed to action as opposed to speculation or abstraction, right? Qualified by practice or practical training, a good practical mechanic, right? So, for example, forensics. I study cyber forensics of all diverse kinds, okay? So, when doing that, what I like to do is I like music. So my forensics in music, you know, I like to do production, right? And this is a form of media production, a podcast, okay? And or music and all that type of stuff, right? So I research on how to make instrumentals and beats, or how to do mixing, mastering, and stuff like that, and laying down audio for a podcast. So it's a practical thing, a useful thing, right, that I practice doing. Then I would make videos of this, and I post it on my YouTube channel for people to see as a form of tutorial, or I just do it, you know, in the midst of making my other videos, is that and the third. You see what I'm saying? But it's practical. And then there's ways that you could do to make a currency off of that, this, that, and the third. I monetize it, and if you want to put it in that sense, in the practical terminology of definition being further defined, meaning I monitor it, okay? I observe it, I watch over it, I oversee it, right? I gatekeep it, so to speak. But in my works, I do. So, qualified by practice or practical training, I am, okay? Designed to supplement theoretical training by experience. So, not just having a thought or, a cool creative idea, but through experience of practicing these things with consistency and diligence, you see what I'm saying, over a number of years, I've been able to do this. Concerned with voluntary action and ethical decisions, right? This is an ethical decision for me because it's a problem-solving solution, okay? I wanted to make music, and a lot of people would try to take me off of the songs that I was on because my verses in my music, in my choruses, outplayed theirs. You see what I'm saying? They were jealous. So my solution to that problem was, let me learn how to do the mechanics, you know what I'm saying, all the construction of what we call music production, and Let me take it a step further where I don't have to rely on other people to get it done. And this is how I got over 35 mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I got mixtapes past my age. You know what I'm saying? Literal. It's not a lie. This is a literal practice. So the practicality in that, you know what I'm saying, the practicalness in that, you know what I'm saying, is by doing, you know what I'm saying, doing. A lot of people waiting for Jesus to come back. You're going to keep waiting for him to come back because it's a society. It's not a God or a savior, right? It's a manipulation, mind control tactic. It's a facade. It's a fraud. Now, when you study the Christ conspiracy, you know what I'm saying, you study ancient Egypt, the study of Horus, Osiris, you know what I'm saying, even the twins Jacob and Esau, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying, all these Christ consciousness things and this, that, and the third, those are a perception of your character that's being projected through what you practice, okay? A practical projection of your theosophy or your theology, your thoughts and your ideology, your ideas, okay? But through opinion, and most times through assumption, where people create a false judgment of what they do not know because they don't practice what they preach and studying to show themselves approved, right? Or to show that your experience is the proof of what you do and who you are in that essence, you know what I'm saying, of how you're projecting yourself. You got a lot of fakes out there, want to be rappers, this, that, and the third, want to be singers, or they want to live somebody else's life, they want to act like somebody else, dress like somebody else, Barbies, bad bitches, and all this other type of shit. That shit's all garbage, okay? Because the mimication process is nothing but an echo of the same manipulations of a lack of self-control. They lack the self-control of themselves, so they want to be like somebody else. That's a narcissistic behavior, you see what I'm saying? In the practical sense of how it's being projected out there as a facade, it looks like this, but it's something completely different in the deeper parts, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to inner healing and therapy and facing yourself. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of sabotage from people in people's thinking that come with that, from self-sabotage. There's a lot of addiction to oppression. It's many things many barriers that people have to actually face, like a mirror, you know what I'm saying? A mirror reflection. You got to learn to face yourself, your ugliness, and what is right, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to be able to see the beauty of the Most High in everything and look at everything as a perception, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, this is a cool perception, you know what I'm saying? I say being homeless is an example. I could either go out there and just turn into whatever, you know, do whatever thing, whatever, blah blah blah, or I can actually use it as an opportunity to go even greater, to do even more. You see what I'm saying? And what a lot of people don't realize is, or ain't able to identify is, most of the videos and music I made when I was nomading, I'll put it like that, you know what I'm saying, or unhoused, and going through a lot of troubles and struggles, you see what I'm saying? But over time, you see the evolution, you see the transformation, you know what I'm saying? You see the blooming, the blossoming, you know what I'm saying? Like a practicality of a butterfly coming out of its cocoon. You feel me? So, yeah, so examination requiring demonstration of some practical skill. And this is a skill, you know what I'm saying? And it's practical. Because you can make, you know what I'm saying, you can do all kind of things. You can make all kind of things out of that, you know what I'm saying? An engineer will address the design's practical problems. She has a lot of practical experience in dealing with these kinds of problems. So, I just had somebody, you know, comment on me how being an entrepreneur is not practical for staying in housing. Well, what's not practical is going and destroying a bunch of trees and things that the Most High Yah had created for all creatures, moreover abundant for free. But you want to tear them all down and build up these superstores and have these, you know, work labor slave force, which is slavery. It is just that. It's human trafficking. That's all it will ever be. That's all it has ever been. No matter what, how you try to manipulate and change the words and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Like the truth is still there. It's always there, you know what I'm saying? How are you going to take care of your family, but you stuck on a 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? And you wonder why people commit adultery and cheating and shit all the time, you know what I'm saying? You wonder why the man and woman can't work together. Some families can, they're able to do that, you know what I'm saying? But it's not for everybody, you feel me? And then, why would you want to work for like $16 an hour? Nigga, I need bread every single day. I have needs every single day. My children, my wife has needs every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like my family, my true family has needs every single day. Just like when you use the word family, I'm saying a lot of people use it as a trend. You know what I'm saying? Or as an excuse to try to stay in your life as a narcissistic fucking vampire. You know what I'm saying? And it's wrong and it's wicked. It's out of order. It's out of alignment. Just because I came through your womb doesn't mean we have the same blood. We definitely ain't got the same ruach, mind, spirit, heart, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? People are confused by all these words, but don't see the root or the seed of those roots. You know what I'm saying? People talking about you gotta deal with the root. No, you need to deal with the seed. You need to deal with what was before that seed. You need to go before that. You know what I'm saying? Because the thought, what was there before that thought or that seed right there. You know what I'm saying? Then the root system, then everything branches out. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you get to the fruit. It's a whole process. You can't just start at the roots, hack at the roots, hack at them bitches, but you ain't never dealt with the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to the seed. So. Just like it's not practical for a woman to be like, okay, I brought you into this world, I can take you out of it. How did you bring it in to the world when you didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Even if you did a home pregnancy, home birth or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you are gonna call on, you're gonna be like, oh God, help me or something, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just you doing it by yourself. Like, people need to get out of here with all that weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these religious confusion and everybody else trying to take credit for something that's not theirs, you know what I'm saying? You trying to take authority over something that you don't got authority over, you know what I'm saying? You're not even approved for it because you can't even go through the stipulation, the situations that will prove you and that try you, you know what I'm saying? The persecutions, that, and the third, but you want to tell them it's not practical. Being an entrepreneur is practical when you have different options, you know what I'm saying? The people that I've studied, they tell you, you know what I'm saying, either have like 5 to 7 different sources of income. You see what I'm saying? Or ways that you can make income so that you can be able to meet the demands of what they call everyday living, which is a whole bunch of horse shit because it's all poverty thinking and it's all oppression to be more oppressed as poverty, more compliant slaves. You know what I'm saying? That's what your schools teach you. That's what your jobs teach you. You know what I'm saying? And then you got so many different people with pride, you know what I'm saying? It's like you walking around with pride, but you still ignorant as hell. You like super deeply ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And you proud to be that way. Oh, I made me a couple $1,000 this week, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna go drink myself to death. You know what I'm saying? You can have you a beer if you gonna drink, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I would think my suggestion, you ain't gotta take it, you ain't gotta take my opinion, because my opinion is my opinion. You ain't asked for it, I ain't asked for yours. But I would think I wouldn't want to drink some shit that's going to destroy my body from the inside out and my soul at the same time. My essence. You know what I'm saying? That's because I've done that before. That's why I don't do it. Because it's practical. You feel me? Like I don't like when people feel like they're above somebody. And I am that type of one where I will tell you to your face. You know what I'm saying? You're not above me because you have this 6-figure income, you know what I'm saying, working at this multi-billion-dollar incorporation, mind you, that is built off of the backs of billions of people and creatures and things that they murdered that wasn't even theirs to begin with, and stole their identities, stole their heritage, suppressed it for almost over 600 years, 1,000 years, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all feel like you all big and bad because you're so-called ruling over people through fear. That's bullying because you have no self-control over yourself and your own fears. You don't know how to rule your own fears. You don't know how to conquer your own fears. Know your own mind. So it proves that you're a weak-minded, ill-willed, disgusting narcissist because you want to try to control everybody else and tell them what to do and how to do it. And you want them to do it your way, but you don't even follow your own rules and regulations or stipulations or standards when it comes to that. So who are you to judge, or who are you to condemn somebody, you know what I'm saying, in a court of law or rule of law? That's not even law. That's not even rule. You know what I'm saying? That's pimping, and it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It shows how low you are. It shows how much of a puke you really are. You're literally like spittle, something that's cast out of the mouth, out of the body, as disgust. You ever heard of somebody or watch somebody haka loogie? They spit it out like ugh. You know what I'm saying? That's your existence, bro. That's your whole essence, your whole being. Males and females that act like that, and then you teach your children to act the same way. You don't know how to discipline them, so you give them a TV, you give them a phone. You know what I'm saying? You let them watch whatever, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And I've had my time doing that too, but then it got to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying? My children barely ever, they rarely ever watch anything. If they watch anything, it's all educational. And it's not just educational, it's something that's actually going to teach them 400-500 years in the future. You know what I'm saying? From their heritage and their people's going on and on and on and on and on. I don't lay down with a whole bunch of women because I don't want my daughters learning to lay down with a whole bunch of men, but not knowing how to keep marriage. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing how to keep covenant with the Most High. Y'all holler God, but you don't know. You don't know him. You don't know the living one. You don't. And it proves practically through what you do with no lie, and what you don't do, or how you think and how you feel. You call somebody crazy, but then y'all turn around and be like, oh, well, something said. Okay, then who told you? What was that something? So should you be taking a whole bunch of narcotics and shit that fucking destroy people's lives and their existence and stuff like that? Because I got news for you, those who want to be psychotherapists, soul therapy. Okay? Soul therapy. Psyche therapy. You are the motherfuckers that are schizophrenic, double-minded, and I hold my peace at that. This is a practical definition more for the divine at Ambassadors Inc. And we could say Yahweh Radio Productions. So with that, shalom. Ji Malimi Kola Ab Yahuwah.